category in our chapter. She works for Nelson Alexander. She's been in business for 9 years and her partner's name's Todd, and they have a beautiful miniature schnauzer puppy dog. Her hobbies include travel, running, reading, salsa dancing, real estate, renovation, architecture, art, painting, interior design, food and wine. So she's lived in the Burundara area queue for 34 years, so she knows the area very well and is quite knowledgeable about real estate in our area as well as other things. Previous job types include administration and executive assistant, hospitality, coordinator and manager of 2 beauty salons, reception, residential property manager. Her burning desire is to create a network of clients whereby her business is predominantly gained through referrals and repeat customers only. Something here no one knows about Jessika is that she worked on a cruise ship based out of Miami as a massage therapist and cruised the Caribbean. Think crystal waters, warm water, white sands and private islands. Now that sounds good. Her key to success is cultivating relationships, know your market, helping without an agenda and spending your time doing something that you're passionate about. So ladies and gentlemen, may I present to you Jessika. Over to you, Jessika.
Good morning all, and thank you for that introduction, Helen. That was wonderful. Well, I'm excited to be sharing with you today a little bit about myself and hopefully humanising the real estate agents to you all, because we all know that they do have a certain stigma about them. We've all met them, a little bit akin to used car salesmen. But look, we seek health advice from health professionals. We seek financial advice from financial professionals. Why wouldn't you seek property advice from a property expert when you are inquiring into property? I would propose to you that a good real estate agent who's hardworking and gives good advice can be invaluable to you over your lifetime. I certainly know that the agents that I work with are high integrity, passionate individuals that really care about their clients. So a little bit about me. I couldn't fit any more photos on the slide there if I tried. But I'm just like you. I'm human. I've got an amazing support network. I've got a loving partner, family, friends, passions and hobbies. I've travelled extensively. I've worked abroad. I've led a team. I've been part of a team. I've mentored others. I've been mentored. It's probably a culmination of all of these adventures that led me to my career in real estate 9 years ago. And it's a career that continues to bring me great joy and reward, and I expect it will a long time into the future as well. So I've read that there are 4 main causes of stress in a human life, and they are death, divorce, disease. And if you can guess the 4th that's particularly pertinent to my presentation today, it's moving house. For the average person, most of us will only do it 2 to 3 times in our life. The first is often assisted by our parents, and the last is often assisted by our children as we go into care. Now, there are exceptions to that. I know there's a number of investors in this group which will buy and sell any number of times in their life. But if you reflect on the last time you bought or sold, was it a fun experience? Was it a stress-free experience? I suspect probably not. And I'm not talking about the champagne, popping at the end at the conclusion of the sale or the purchase, but I'm talking about the whole process. When I look at my own experiences in buying and selling, it's definitely stressful. On the buying side, agents could be quite dismissive if they didn't consider me a genuine buyer. They could also be quite desensitized to the process. And secondary to that, sometimes I felt like I was given misinformation. On the selling side, I felt like the information and the feedback was lagging. Sometimes I wasn't given all of the information. And second to that, sometimes I actually felt quite pressured from the agent. I wasn't given the space to make up my own mind. Now, I remind myself of this every day when I'm selling property, because you cannot sell a house without a seller, but more importantly, you cannot sell a house without a buyer either. So the relationships are key, and good communication is paramount to facilitating a good sale process. Now, I've held the hands of thousands of buyers and sellers over the years, and it's critical to be able to recognise the type of communication and support that your client needs. You know, some people like to be particularly collaborative. Some people like to be in charge. Some people like you to completely shelter them from the whole process, which is why I've got this little frog with the rain leaf there in that image. Now, while we can't control everything, we can minimise the uncertainties and we can minimise the stress in buying and selling for our clients. And as an agent, we need to listen to our clients to ascertain how best to meet their needs. Now, it goes without saying that your agent should be able to make recommendations about presenting for sale. They should be able to make recommendations about the sale method, i.e., is it auction, is it private sale, is it an expression of interest? But moreover to that, they should be able to support their recommendations with market evidence and talk it through with the client so that the client fully understands and is comfortable with the process that they're going to be embarking on. I believe as an agent, when selling, there shouldn't be any surprises, unless, of course, that's a runaway auction result, then that's a fabulous surprise. And you prevent surprises or issues from arising by real-time communication, constant communication, providing recommendations to your client. Now, experience is necessary when you're selling a property because every sales campaign is a little bit different and you need to be able to read the situation, be dynamic, and then you can come to your clients with solutions rather than problems. Just turning my paper here, guys. So Nelson Alexander, aside from the fact that they've been an incredible company through COVID to work with and be a part of, we are a 16 office network and we've recognised the value to our clients of collaborating information and data, but moreover, enabling and incentivising inter-office and inter-area sales. Now, what that does is it means that we recognise if there's a buyer looking in Kew, they might also be looking in the peripheral suburbs of Hawthorn, Balwyn, Balwyn North, Abbotsford and Richmond. And we're actually able to introduce buyers to other agents' properties, whereby some other companies they've got a certain footprint, and what that means is the agents will covet their buying clients to a particular area. But if you open up the borders, what it does is it increases competition and it increases agents' reason to add value to their clients as well. Now, what we do find, and this is why we do this, is that a client that is looking at Kew might not have considered Balwyn, for example. They keep missing out on properties in Kew. We can actually bring that client to Balwyn. They might have a higher budget. They might be prepared to pay more for securing that property. And they'll also see the value. And we've got so many examples of this across the network where that has actually increased competition and increased the ultimate sale price, which is what you want to do when you're selling your home. So, COVID success stories. These are some of the things that have got me through this year. And they're really great examples about how when our clients follow the recommendations that a sale can be achieved, moreover, an outstanding result can be achieved, even in a turbulent market. So 34 Campbell Street, they bought that off us on election day in 2018. They had aspirations to build their dream home on the site. COVID saw a shift in direction and values, and they reappointed us to on-sell the property. Now, we're on the market for 7 days. We had 3 offers. We negotiated one of those offers to an acceptable level. That offer was then challenged. We had a virtual auction and the price went up $100,000 in 10 minutes, which was pretty amazing. Now, the sellers were they'd accepted the fact that they were going to crystallize a loss, but instead they saw a 20% increase in 18 months, which is pretty amazing. 18 St. George's Avenue, launched for a typical 4-week auction campaign. We had 40 groups through over the 4 weeks. And during that time, we had 2 offers of 1.9 and 1.97. Now, our recommendation to our clients was to carry through to auction. Come auction day, we had 9 registered bidders and we sold for $230,000 over the reserve. Again, the vendors were pretty happy there. 7 Woolcock Avenue, Kew East. This is an example of what we can do off market. So the property formed part of an estate. It was definitely neglected and essentially a block of land. The family didn't want to spend a cent on marketing, presenting, even clearing garden for the sale. So we were pretty confident that we were already working with active buyers within the market looking for property like this. But moreover, we were connected to some passive buyers that aren't actively looking, but are looking for a specific type of property. In 9 days, we had 17 groups through and 4 offers in the end, and ultimately a great sale price. These are just examples of how choosing the right agent with the right network can lead to a great sale result. This leads me into my last slide. So I take a long-term view to real estate, and I really think that you have to, because traditionally the property cycle is 7 to 10 years, although that may be shifting. We will see. I would suggest that the only difference in real estate between a lead and a referral is that a referral is someone who is imminently ready to sell and, all things considered, is going to take the advice of the referrer. Now, with such a high value transaction, that's pretty rare in real estate, but it is great when it happens. So we value leads as much as referrals. We don't discriminate between, or sorry, I don't discriminate between, a $300,000 property and a $3 million property, because I believe that all clients and properties should be treated with the same care and attention. So you can see there my core areas. You can see there my referrals. Probably the last thing I wanted to add, though, is one of the beautiful things about Nelson Alexander is that with 16 offices, we've got at least 16 suburbs with area experts in them. So if I'm not the area expert, I can actually refer you to someone who is, or I can work in partnership with them if you would like to work with me. So that about sums me up, and I'll finish with my quote of the day. Now, there are so many punchier ones out there, but I settled on this one, which was go into the world and do well, but more importantly, go into the world and do good. Thank you, Nicole, and thank you all for listening.
Thank you, Jessika. If we could come off mute and give Jessika a round of applause.
Well done, Jessika.
Jessica.
First presentation here in our group, so it was a really fantastic piece there. So if you're catching up with Jess after the meeting for information about her services or her business, let's make sure that we know a little bit more about that now, and we can do our best to bring referrals to her. So thank you so much, Jess. That's great.
Thank you.
All right, so we're going to have a look at our presenters coming up. So I'm just going to update our slides and